Everybody coming in today, good morning to everyone. I appreciate you guys all coming. This is a very important subject matter, the goal setting for your individual performance. And I'll go over the goal setting again for those of you who have seen this before several times with me, because I do it every January, and then I do it once in the middle of the year just to keep us all, one second. And I do it at the middle of the year just to keep us all on track. So hopefully you guys are seeing this SMART goals. You guys see SMART on the screen? Anybody see that? Give me a head nod, please, because I can't. Okay, awesome, thank you. Christina, you're the only one I can see right now with her camera on. So, okay, specific, SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Set real numbers with real deadlines. Don't say, I want more visitors to my website. I want to do more business. It has to be specific. I want to do X amount of transactions this year. I want to do X amount in volume this year, whatever it is. I want to do 3 luxury homes and 25 traditional homes, or whatever, 3 new homes, whatever it is that you want to do. I want to get 5 transactions from my leads group. I want to do different things, whatever it is that you want to do. I want to create new partnerships. I want to have a partnership with a divorce attorney and a probate attorney and this and that by the end of the year, whatever it is that you want to do. Make it specific, measurable, make sure it's trackable. Don't hide behind words like grow my brand. I want more brand engagement, social. I want to be I want more social influence. Make it measurable. I want to have X amount of followers on my Instagram by the end of the year, whatever it is that you want. Attainable. Work towards a goal that is challenging but possible. Don't try to take over the world in one night. Make it something. If you did 3 transactions last year, don't say I want to do 300 this year. Make it something that you can attain. Unless you have a plan for 300, that's great. But if you do, I'd love to see it. Realistic. Be honest with yourself. You know what you and your team are capable of. This kind of goes along with attainable, but being realistic. Time bound. Give yourselves a deadline. Everything, just like a contract has a deadline, has a drop dead date, so does your goals. It needs to have a deadline. You don't want to say just, I want to be a successful realtor, and don't give it any time limit or whatever. It has to be specific and time bound. All right. And that's SMART goals. This is the portion of the program where we discuss a little bit about, and I'm going to stop sharing. This is when we discuss, so I can see all your faces. This is where we discuss your goals. Maybe where you were in January, and you can start now. Where you were in January, where your goals were, how you're doing it, and guys, so here's how the goals work with it in a daily scene. This is what I want to give to you guys. If you say you want to do, 30 transactions this year, and you've got to break it down to, if I want to do 30 transactions, I've got to make X amount of contacts. That's why you guys have to do your analytics on what you're doing for your marketing. I need to make this many contacts every day. You break it all the way down to the day. I need to make, if I want to do 30 deals in 2022, and that means I need to do X amount per month, which means I need to do X amount per week, and go all the way down to how many people you contact originally, whatever the first step is that you take on, whether it's posting on your social media or whether it's directly reaching out to people, making phone calls, whatever it is that you do, break it down to what I need to do every day. Keep breaking it down and breaking it down and breaking it down. You guys know how many months there are in a year and how many days there are in a month and how many weeks and everything else, however it is that you measure it. You break it down to what do I need to do today? And then every day that you do that, that's how you reach goals. You break it down and break it down and break it down. You can't just sit here and say, well, I don't know how I'm going to get to 30 transactions this year. I've done 3 and it's July 6th. Right? You've got to, because time will pass you by like that. You guys know that. The good times pass by and so do bad times, but you have to make sure that you're reaching toward your goal every single day. And that sounds stupid, and it sounds like something that you've read on a meme on Facebook today, but you have to, if it's not something that's toward your goal, you have to put it off until you do the things that are working toward your goal every day. That's just it's 101, guys. That's how you reach your goals. But you have to have the ability to break it down to what you need to do this week, today, whatever it is. So that's how you start this thing. Tammy, do you want me to pick on you? I mean, you came in here today. You knew I would, right? Tammy had a goal of managing her time and putting everything on a calendar, an electronic calendar, if I recall, Tammy. What tell us about what happened there?
Well, I'm just like rewriting this stuff down, going, oh yeah, remember I'm the worst agent that does the worst things, and
somehow you make it.
Yeah, somehow I make it.
So nothing. I really did not think I would see you here today. So I'm
Really?
excited about seeing you. So because I always pick on you about this. So tell us about what your goals were, if you recall. You wrote them down.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, my goal is I need to get a notebook and write goal on it, and then put them in the notebook where I can actually now recall what my goals were. So that's what I was sitting here thinking, because I'm like, I don't even know what my goals were back then when we talked about this.
Okay.
Which is terrible.
Okay. So let's talk about something as ridiculous as what you just said, which is great. So your goal is to, I sound like Darth Vader on here. It sounds like to me. I'm getting feedback. Your goal is to get a notebook to write goals on it, right? And I'm being serious about this. So if that was your goal, what's the first thing you need? What can you do today toward reaching that goal? You know what I mean? So the first thing you need to do as soon as you get out of this meeting is go to the store and buy a notebook, or get on Amazon, and then you'll have it tomorrow. But you could get it done today, right? Everything you just said, you could get done today.
Actually, now that you said that, I did, at one meeting, I did go on Amazon, that things to do one that had all the stuff, but I filled it up. I recently just filled this whole thing up of like the daily things to do that one of the agents had mentioned on here. So I do need to order a new one. That was pretty cool. So you will go on every day and you write the 3 main things that you need to do, which it is full, but so I have done that.
You should have, one of the things on there should have been to reorder another one of those.
You're to the end, reorder, right?
Right. Okay. So, but that's great, and that's maybe what you guys need to do is have a to-do list every day, but on that everyday recurring, and you can do this on your phone, on your calendar, on your phone. Those of you who use smartphones, and you can have on there every day, like I have for some of my stuff, every day to do stuff, right? And you put it all day event, and it pops up every morning that you have to do that. So that's a good thing. But if that is to reach out to 10 people, or to make 5 cold calls, or to do whatever it is to do, you have to do that. Now, Tammy, we had talked about you blocking off time. We had talked about how you were going to do something from 9 to 10, and this from 10 to 12, and this from, right? And that was something that you were working on, I know, doing as well. So I'm going to leave you alone, Tammy, because I think that you've, you do great, and I love you, and you're great.
My goal is to constantly try every day, and it's like, it's just discouraging because you fail, but you've got to keep trying. You've got to keep trying to do better.
And Tammy, I love you, and you're very smart, but those are not smart goals. Very specific is not to just constantly try every day. Exactly. I mean, that's not specific. You've got to be more specific about what you're doing, right. And more. I mean, it has to be more purpose-driven, purposeful, right? And obviously, clearly more specific than that. So, right. Who else would like to share something that they've done in goal-wise for this year or this month, or they're going to start doing? Who else would like to share? Not that Tammy wanted to, but who else would like to? Go ahead, Christina.
I am. I'm trying to. I'm working on delegating more and just kind of focusing on my circle of genius, right, or whatever term people want to use, which is, probably what we're all best at is, building relationships, making contacts, the things that are going to drive the business forward. So I did speak with a transaction coordinator that I'm going to be hiring moving forward. And I'm just trying to, and I've been more consistent with video creation, which has been a goal of mine. And then I'm going to just, work with this transaction coordinator and just try to start delegating and just taking some steps to get some of the tasks that are not where I need to be focusing my time off my plate. So that's probably my main thing that I've taken some steps forward to do.
All right. And that's great. So that's a great overall goal. That's like saying, I want to be a great realtor, right? It's a great overall goal. It's an idea at this point. And you said you're taking the steps to do it. So do you think, and just honest, you can just nod your head. You don't have to say anything you don't want to, but do you think you would do better if you said, I want to take this step by July 11th and this step by July 24th and this step by the end of the month? Or because I'm guilty of the same thing, guys. Let me tell you guys something. And all of us are in this business for a reason. And the problem with this business is the reason 93% of us fail is because the things that make us great with growing relationships and doing the stuff that Christina was just talking about, and like the kind of person that Tammy is, just great at growing relationships and selling, and she services her clients, she sells them, she pleases them, she does all the stuff that she does. Just a great salesperson, even though she wouldn't consider herself salesy, and a lot of you guys wouldn't. You're great at what you do for the selling. The hard part is being good at both the organizational and goal setting stuff and the personality of sales, right? Is to be a salesperson, to be a bubbly person that everybody loves and everybody wants to work with because they trust you and they like you. How many of you are actually good at the paperwork? I can tell you, not many of you are good at the paperwork part because I see your paperwork, but not good at the paperwork part, but not good at the yes, Christina's the worst. She's, I'm in my car on the way to closing. Can you sign my CDA?
I know what you're talking about.
So you guys who are successful in sales are not typically, and I'm stereotyping, not typically the best at the organizational part, and probably not the best with the goal setting, because that's very organization. It's meticulous. It's every day. That is the problem with realtors, is the ones who are good with that kind of stuff couldn't sell, ice water in hell. And the ones who are good with the sales can't do the paperwork for a bill of sale for ice water in hell. So it's tough to find the people who can do both. And it's not really anybody that I know. And that's why transaction coordinators are helpful to some of you guys and all of this. But this is the goal setting part that nobody else can do for you. You have to do that for yourself, unless you have a coach. The coach will help you do it. That's why people have been successful with coaches, because coaches keep you accountable. They make you do goals. They make you do all that with you. Some even do it for you. And then they keep you accountable, right? That's why people swear by their coach and they do all this stuff. It's not rocket science, guys. The coaches aren't giving you any special formula to sell more houses. They're just keeping you accountable, because activity will breed success. And if you make yourself do this stuff every day, you will be successful. There's no way around it. You can't help but be successful if you do the things you have to do to be successful every day, right? If I go to the gym and lift weights every day, I'm going to be more healthy than I am now, right? There's no way around it. Well, there is for me, but because I'll eat my way around it. But but seriously, I mean, if you put the effort into doing what you need to do, you will be successful in this business or any business. And the problem with realtors is it's tough because you're running a business. Any other business, Bill Gates doesn't do everything from being the face of the company all the way down to doing accounts payable, right? Everybody business has a set of people in it. I will tell you, we have an accounting department at FRI. I could not do their jobs. I'm amazed they sit at their desk all day and just work on their computers. That would drive me crazy. I work for 30 minutes. I got to go around and talk to everybody in the office, right? Because that's my personality and that's their personality. One person has a hard time doing every job. And that's just the way it is in every company. You guys run your own business though. So that's why it's difficult for you guys to do everything from A to Z, but you have to make yourself do this stuff that you don't like to do. You have to work on, you need to shore up your weaknesses and magnify your strengths, right? And you guys are great salespeople, great talkers. I've talked to you guys on the phone. I know you can talk. I know you can sell. I know you can do this stuff. You've got to do the back office stuff too. It's the hard stuff for you guys. It's not hard stuff for some of the people. And we even have some agents who are great with paperwork. And they just love it. Tammy knows one, loves the paperwork and doesn't sell a lot, but loves the paperwork part of it, right? And there are people like that. That's a different personality, but they don't sell a lot typically. And that is what you guys need to do. Those of you who I can see, the people who are on here, I can see your names, and those of you I can see your faces. You guys are all great salespeople. Some of you guys struggle with keeping up the day-to-day stuff, and this goal setting stuff is building your pipeline for the future. And so people like us with our personalities, because I'm like that too, we tend to fly by the seat of our pants. And if we're good enough and talented enough at it, we make it. But we tend to fly by the seat of our pants. Can I get a head nod on that? Some of you guys, I know you do. Those of you who get your CDAs on the way to your closings and stuff like that. Yes. So I know that's what you guys do, and that's what we need to work on. So that's why I like to talk to you guys about this stuff, because if you break it down to day by day, this is what a coach would do for you. I can't coach you all, but this is what a coach would do for you, is put you on a goal setting and keep you accountable and make you do this stuff. Daryl, you hired a coach for a little bit. That's what a lot of it was, right? Accountability, goal setting.
I did. Yeah, I hired a coach for a little while. It didn't work.
Right, didn't take
at all. I'm not very coachable. That's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like people to tell me what to do. I like to do it myself. I've never done goals my whole life. I'm sorry to say, but I never have. But I do the things every day or every week that are relevant to goals. And I don't know how that happens, but that's how it is. Like, okay, everybody knows, or everybody kind of knows, that I moved out of downtown, about a year ago now. And I relaunched myself into my new neighborhood, trying to get new listings. I've been working on it every month, every week, every day, but it's not taking off yet. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Because downtown, I had no problem. I was doing the things that I do, well, kind of doing the things that I do here. I wasn't actually, right now I'm delivering monthly HOA letters. I've been doing that for 8 months now, every month. Even though I fractured my foot, I still get out there and hobble around and deliver them. And because I've got a big half-page ad in the newsletter every month. I noticed the newsletters weren't getting out. They were getting put in the office and left there. So I decided myself, I said, hey, I'm going to start delivering them myself. So I have for the past 8 months now. But it's not giving me the listings that I thought it was going to. So I need to figure out other things. I also, I send out postcards, just listed, just sold postcards every time I have a listing and every time I sell a listing. And that's still not bringing in that many listings. I look every month. I send out on Facebook, I send out a market update every month, and people look for it. People like it and they comment on it, and they're like, we really like that you're doing this. You're letting us know what the market's doing. And I send that out twice a month. I send out my ad through Facebook, a half-page ad, and then I send out once a month also a separate market update that shows just 4 different things. They like it, they comment on it, but I'm still not getting the listings that I should be getting for some reason. I've only got 4 competitors. I've got 4 competitors. 2 of them are huge in the community. And they get most of the, well, they don't get most, but they get a lot more listings than I do. So I'm trying to overcome that. I'm driving every day through the neighborhood. Actually, I just noticed a brand new listing this morning. Sorry, I'm talking so much. That's what I do. I just noticed a brand new listing in my neighborhood, and I immediately went to the MLS on my phone, and it's not on there. So I pulled over and I called the listing agent and I said, hey, I see that you've got your sign in front of this house, but it's not on the MLS. Oh, yes, it's going to be on the MLS tonight. I said, okay, no problem. I'm not going to go off on her or anything for doing that. I said, how much is it? What's the co-broke? Can you tell me a little bit about it? Which she did. I said, okay, cool. I said, I'll keep it in mind for my buyers. I usually have quite a few buyers. She goes, oh yeah, I noticed your name on my phone. It came up because I get a lot of your distribution through the neighborhood. And so that tells me that my distribution is going out if somebody else is noticing it just from my phone call. So that's what I need to, like I said, I don't do goals, but I do, but that's part of I need to readjust some things to where I'm getting more listings. And so I need some more ideas on how to do that and how to get more listings in my neighborhood and so forth. Sorry, I talk so much.
No, great. I love it when you talk, Daryl. That's why I call on you. I know you will. So I want to just add something to that. I have a little bit of input about that, Daryl, and that is something I hear a lot of. And that, hold on one second. Okay, that's something I hear a lot of, and that is you have to be patient with listings, and you have to establish yourself in that neighborhood. These people, these big ones that you're talking about, they tend to follow up with their clients. They have the CRMs and they have all the drip campaigns and all this stuff. And so when they sold those houses to those people back when they moved in 5 to 7 years ago, they're going to remain to be their realtor, or they know somebody who did and trust them because they've been there a long time. And I just think it takes a little bit of patience for listings, particularly, and definitely for handout type things or mailers and stuff like that. You really have to help hit people just at the right time while they're looking, while they're thinking about doing whatever they're doing. And you are building your brand in that neighborhood. Obviously, as you found out from the other realtors are aware of you. Of course, that's their job to be aware of what's going on, but they're aware of you. That means people are aware, the regular people are aware of you too. So I wouldn't kick yourself about what you're doing. I think what you're doing is great and you're working. And I love it. And I promise you that will breed success. It just is it's going to take a little bit. I'm sure you didn't break in downtown overnight either. It takes a little bit to get listings. You can break in with buyers, but it takes a little bit to get listings. So that's my input on that. If anybody else has ideas, I'd love to hear them.
Daryl, are you doing video? Are you doing any videos?
I'm doing some videos. What I'm doing is I'm taking videos of walking tours through new listings usually. And I put those on my Facebook page and different pages and so forth. So yeah, I am doing videos, but not enough. I need to do more, of course. More.
Daryl, what's so great about Williamsburg?
Williamsburg is around everything. We're in between Disney. We're in between Universal. We have fireworks every night. The Ritz on Saturday, the Ritz Hotel. I live, maybe a mile from the Ritz. We now have fireworks at the Ritz every Saturday. Unbelievable fireworks. So we're around everything. We've got Universal Epic Universe being built. We've got Brightline, the train coming right by our neighborhood, like in the next, 2 years, maybe 3 years. International Drive is right up the street. I go to International Drive all the time because of all the restaurants, Icon Park, the Big Wheel. Just everything is around here. We got the 528 that'll take you to Cocoa Beach in 30 minutes. We're 20 minutes away from downtown. We're 10 minutes away from Disney. We're 5 minutes away from Universal.
All right, stop.
The houses here are not super overpriced.
Stop.
I know. Well, I can go
That's
on
15.
and on.
That's 15 videos.
Also, SeaWorld's right there too, right? SeaWorld.
Yeah, that's 15 videos that you just gave me, Daryl. There should be pictures of you with the fireworks and, you hosting the fireworks thing and all this stuff, all the new fireworks at the Ritz, and walk around the Ritz a little bit. Whatever you can do, go to the Wheel one night and get a picture of you on the green lawn there and doing all this stuff. Those are video, not a picture of you, but video of you talking about the Wheel and, how often it's open and this and that and all the great shops and restaurants there and everything. Those are a bunch of video ideas there to show how great that community is. And that gets you a lot of reach. You'll be surprised at the coming up, but that's an idea that's a more immediate idea. And that shows, again, paints you as, just like you were downtown Daryl, you're going to be Williamsburg Daryl, and that's going to be you. And that's really, it's a great idea, Christina. And it's just a ton of, you just got excited and your enthusiasm sells, guys. Sales is the transference of enthusiasm. That's all sales is. And so when your enthusiasm, Daryl, I couldn't stop you. You got to like 15, 16, 17 things and I couldn't stop you. That enthusiasm sells. I'm sold on Williamsburg. I want to start looking around. So I have no desire to live in Williamsburg, but I want to live in Williamsburg. So that's all exciting stuff, especially from people that aren't from this area, right? From Orlando. So that's fantastic. And that'll help you a lot, I think. And you've got a great personality for it. You know, your enthusiasm just carries through. It shines through. So I would definitely do that if I were you.
What I like doing also is going on Facebook page, because there's 2 prime Facebook pages for Williamsburg that does all the updates. Last night, I noticed our new signs, our new Williamsburg signs coming from the 528 were re-landscaped. They were repainted last month. So I took pictures of both of the signs, put them on those Facebook pages, got the most likes that they've had, I think, ever with the new signs painted. Well, yesterday I noticed both the signs were re-landscaped. So I took pictures of both of the signs with the new landscaping. Now I've got freaking 70 likes on each one of those pictures. People blew it up when they saw the new landscape and so forth. So that's a really good, I love the Facebook pages to where you can say things on there about the community and stuff, and everybody in your community sees it. So I think that's a fantastic thing to do too. I'm sure everybody else in here lives in a community that has Facebook pages. I comment on them like daily.
Oh, perfect. Great. Yeah, I like that a lot. And those are the kinds of things, guys, these are the things when you're making your goals, you're going to comment on your pages. You're going to post stuff on there. You're going to post stuff on your personal feed. You're going to do all these, because nowadays you've got to have a couple of deals from here and a couple of deals from there and a couple of deals. You guys all have that. You guys have referral partners. You have this, that, all the things that add up to get you those 30, 50, 100, or 12 deals a year, whatever it is that your goal is. All these little things add up to get you where your goal is. So that is awesome. Thank you, guys. I've got raised hands. How polite. Let's go with whoever was first. I don't know. Carolina? Okay, Carolina accidentally raised her hand. Christina?
So I'm curious, and I know I remember Daryl's downtown branding. I'm curious if folks are, because I think, I love the idea of the video, and I hope, Daryl, you make some more videos, because I think people just want to see your face. And like you said, you're so enthusiastic. So I definitely encourage you to do that. But I am curious, is anybody, we don't own it. So I'm posting and doing all that stuff, but I'm just kind of reminded with now the FCC or whatever talking about potentially banning TikTok. I doubt it'll happen, but we don't own our social media platform. So how are you guys building an email list? Are you doing that? Has anybody done that? Are you using like lead capture pages? Or I would like to start getting their data so that I don't have to rely on the platform. And I just was curious if anybody had successfully done that here and had any suggestions for me.
Well, I can help you, because we put them in the CRM for our brokerage for both owners, for property management, agents for recruiting, etc. We have a CRM. So
are we doing like a lead magnet? Like how are you getting them to give you their email?
Boy, I wish I could answer that. I don't do it. So I'll find out.
Okay, cool.
I have a question, Ryan, regarding that. And maybe I need a CRM. I've been asking about that forever, but I've tried several and it hasn't worked for me. So that was a really, really good question. I don't know. I'm all over the place. Just with your goals that you talked about earlier, as you know, if I show you my desk right now, it's a mess, but I'm working. I'm working on a few things and just following up with people. I'm busy. I'm getting like what do you call those? Oh my gosh, listings with previous customers and friends and family. So I still am busy, but not really with the marketing, not really with the CRM or those kinds of things. So I don't know what other people are doing, but it's been a bit different in the last month or so.
Okay, Steve may be able to help with that. Steve, tell us what you think.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Yeah, one of the things that we knew we had to do was up our game with our website. And when we first got involved, so I looked at a lot of different options, and there's some really good ones, and there's some terrible ones out there too. And we landed on one that seems to be working out pretty well. It's connected. The CRM and the website are connected. So if you drive people to your website, the first thing they have to do, and it's an IDX, so they can see everything on the backside that we see on MLS. All of our listings get posted up there. It's really a solid website. But for them to get any information, they have to fill out an application or a contact, which is simple. It's like, what's your phone number? That immediately goes to our CRM. Our CRM immediately starts hitting them with follow-up information about, okay, here we are. And it also has a chat. So if they're on there, I get a notice on my phone that somebody's on my site and they want to chat. So wherever we are, day or night, if we're available, we can work with that. It's Real Geeks is the name of the provider, Real Geeks. And they do the IDX, they do the website design, they do the CRM. It's $299 a month. So it's $300 a month, but it doesn't take too many transactions to cover an annual cost of $3,600. So what we do is we try to drive people to our website, and that automatically starts building our CRM at that point in time. What we discovered when we looked at, Jerry's been in this for 15 years. I'm new, and so, but what we discovered from her scope of business was that 95% of her deals were coming from former clients. So what we're doing is we've actively gotten involved, she more than I, but she's in contact with at least 10 of those people every day. So we're continuously working that database that we've got. And through that, we just had a call this morning, a guy that she'd sold 2 houses to. I'm doing a business deal with him for a $3 million tree farm. And he called today and said, hey, we got some people down here who want to buy a house. Can you help them with that? So it's a friend of a friend, you know how that works down the line. And so, but that Real Geeks is an option that we've found works for us. They got a really great app as far as your CRM. You have it with you all the time. You can work from the app on your phone. You can work on your computer, however you want to do it. But that is something that if anybody's looking at a website / CRM, they may want to take a look at.
And they can
What is your website?
It's bushsellsflorida.com. Sells with an S, bushsellsflorida.com.
Thank you, Bush. I actually looked into Real Geeks, but you guys are mentioning that. It's funny because Romina, who's on our team, gave me a person for a website, and I just signed up with him today. It's weird, but I don't know. I guess I needed that. So I'm doing 2 websites because I have 2 businesses. And so he's creating all these things for me to be able to kind of have a different look and create. I'm gonna ask him about a CRM if he could link that with the website. That is gonna really help. I appreciate that.
Does his website, can he functionally handle the IDX, the transfer of information?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, what they told us at Real Geeks is that you could have your own website design. That was an option. We could have had our own website design. We chose to use theirs. But if you wanted to use their CRM and connect that to your website, that's possible.
Okay.
I don't know what the cost is just for the CRM, but that's possible.
And we make it totally
Okay.
easy for the customer to get us. You know where the phone is? They click it, automatically calls us.
Steve, we can't hear Jerry.
Go ahead and tell him about the phone.
I'm not sure why you can't hear it.
I'm not either.
She said, if you go to the website, if you click the phone or if you hover over the phone number or the email, it automatically takes you to that contact point for us. So It's super easy for them to get in touch with us if they're interested in that.
I have a question for you guys. Steve, how are you guys driving people to your site?
Well, right now we've tried to use a little bit of everything. We use a little bit of social media to do that. What we've discovered is that we've got a couple of farm areas that we're really focused on. So one of them is 55 plus communities in Claremont, Florida, and particularly Kings Ridge. There's 2,000 plus homes in Kings Ridge. So what we're doing, again, Jerry more than myself, is she's involved in about every other club and activity you could possibly be in this community. And she probably meets 15 people, new people a day. And so when she's talking to them, she just simply tells them, hey, why don't you pop in and take a look at our website? And they're always talking about what homes are selling for. That seems to be the one commonality with every person in this community, is what homes are selling for here. So
Right, I'm sure.
And then we also try to do an open house, at least one open house a month, and as part of our action plan. And you're right, Ryan. In another industry, I've been doing this for a long time. Goals without an action plan is just a wish list. I mean, it's like a Christmas list. You hope you get it. The action plan is what drives that. So you got to be very specific about what you're going to do to cause that to happen. Ours, we want to have 2 transactions each month. And we got stalled out a little bit because Jerry was sick with COVID. But right now we got 4 listings. 1 we're going to be putting on again next month. 3 of those are under contract. So having an action plan along with those goals is imperative. I 100% agree with you on that. Awesome.
Thank you. You guys, I don't know with what you guys are doing, Steve, I know that it's not just a 55 plus community over in Claremont. I kind of know that area as well, but I don't know how well video would work for that. I know my mother is over 55 and she is always on social media. So I don't know how that works, but video would probably be good for you guys as well. It's a great area. You guys are working and farming and stuff too. So, and I think that I don't know how many people here know of Kings Ridge or know how it works, but I think a couple of videos of how awesome Kings Ridge is would be helpful. I know a lot about Kings Ridge, but I think a couple of videos of that would be, a pretty awesome thing. Just the fact that there are 15 clubs for Jerry to be in, and all the things they do with their underwater aerobics and all the classes and all the this and that they do, right? So everybody driving their little golf carts around, and that there is a couple of golf courses there, a small one and a big one, and everything else that goes on there. So that's the kind of stuff that you guys can be enthusiastic about as well, and drive more people to your website. So you got to have people driven to your website, and your website has to actually capture them. So it's kind of a two-way thing there. And yes, I love the CRMs tied into the website. I'm sure that's what we have, because I don't think anybody does it. I'm sure they all just automatically pop up on our database. And we have time. Yeah. Yes.
I have another thing. Another thing that we did is, I don't know if you can see these cups. We passed
not very well.
We passed these cups out.
Okay.
And people love them. If they're at the pool and they need we just hand it to them. We're really not supposed to.
Awesome.
But if we're walking, and our thing with the cup is, if we see you in a restaurant and you have our cup, we will fill it with what you're drinking.
Oh, I got to get a bunch of those.
We will buy you a Starbucks. You know what I mean? So we encourage them to carry our cups with them.
I got to find out what bars you guys hang out in and get a couple of those cups.
I know, we've been asked that. We said, sure.
Hey, we aren't anywhere after 8 o'clock at night.
All right. Anybody out there day drinking, you got to get with the bushes.
By the way, I have a Kings Ridge. I was just out there yesterday. I have a Kings Ridge buyer. So if you guys have any listings coming up, I got somebody looking for anything you got under 400.
Yeah, we do. But it went under contract. But I'll let you know, we're in the negotiations right now on the inspections.
Love it. Keep me
okay, but we will let you know. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's 359 and it's one of the biggest models out here.
Oh, perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
Well, there you go. We're matchmaking today. I love it. All right. Any other question? All right. We're not going to get to the market report. Actually, we will. We'll look at it real quickly. Unless you guys have anything else to add on that, that's a great conversation about marketing, guys. I really appreciate it, and hopefully, it distracted you guys from feeling bad about not doing your goals. So, do your goals, guys. You have to do your goals. You really, really, really have to set them and follow them if you want to be successful. Except for Tammy, she's successful anyway. Let me get back to the sharing my screen, and I'm going to go to, let's get interest rates real quick first. If I can find it. Here we go. You guys seen the interest rates? This is NerdWallet I'm on, and it's just giving me, it's today's rates. But you guys seen it? Nod your head if you're seeing that. Anybody? Okay. Guys, we had talked about how rates are going up, up, up. They look like they've settled down for now. And you guys can see where they are. You guys have any thoughts on that? What have you seen as far as rates recently, as far as locking in? What have you guys been hearing from lenders as far as locking in? You guys can see that if somebody wants to gamble on a 5-year ARM, they can get the lower rate, the 15 years at 4.5 and the 30 years at 5.4. What are you guys hearing?
I've been working with, I work with one of our Aura affiliates who's, her name's Susan Sherman. But she's great, and some other lenders I've heard do this as well, where she's offering like a 90-day lock and shop where they can lock today's rate while they shop. Some, getting a lot of, that's probably the #1 topic right now, right? Everybody's concerned about the rates. There's been a lot of movement. So I find that a good piece to be able to reach out and add value to potential buyers that are on the fence, that they can lock while they're looking around.
All right. And what are you guys hearing? I know you guys are seeing this, and every lender in the world is putting it on their social media to marry the house and date the rate. You guys familiar with this concept? Okay. And you guys know that they're saying,
no, I'm just kidding.
What's that?
Did you just make that up right now? I've heard it. I've heard it.
Yeah, well, they're telling you to go ahead and buy the house. They're telling you disregard the interest rate, go ahead and buy the house, and then you can refinance it down the line. So that's what they're using to try to sell. If you're not familiar with that concept, look it up and see if you want to work it into your game as well. I mean, and there's some, of course, there's some truth to that, obviously, even with an ARM or whatever. But there's no guarantee that 3 or 4 or 5 years from now where rates are going to be, which is why it's a gamble to get an ARM, right? Because if you refinance it later and it's at 7%, then that's where it's at. And if you don't refinance it later, it's going to 7% anyway. So with the ARM, but what they're trying to tell you is they're trying to convince you that right now, if you get a 5.5% mortgage, that's the worst you're going to do for ever, because you can always, next time the interest rates go down, you can always refinance. So you'll never have a worse interest rate over 30 years than that. So if you can afford it now, theoretically, you'll be able to afford it down the line. But so that's what they're selling you. I just want to share that with you guys in case you hadn't heard it, so you can look it up and see if that's something you want to work into your people. I don't know if you guys are having a hard time convincing people to buy or not. It can't hurt to have more buyers, because as we're about to learn, we're having more sellers. Can you guys see the Market Watch? You guys see the MLS page now, or did I not share that? It's sharing the MLS page. Okay. You guys can see the ratio. I just want you to look at ratios. The numbers don't matter. This is just a snapshot of this area. We are seeing more and more new listings and more price decreases relative to price increases, and relative to new listings and relative to sales. Back on market 1150, that's been about normal. And pending is below new listings, which is great. It's below sales. So we're starting to see inventory creep back up a little bit, which is good, I think, bringing it back down to market. You guys are still selling. I can tell you transaction-wise, we're where we should be this month. You guys are back. We actually, people say, man, you guys must have done really well during the seller's market. And that's not really the case, because you guys know your buyers couldn't find anything. There weren't more transactions. There was just the transactions were hotter when they would get them. The listings were hotter, but there weren't more transactions. Transactions are picking back up, which actually will help you guys. You know, well, I mean, it'll hold your volume. Your volume's probably going to stay close to the same for a while, but you'll get more transactions, so it'll be more volume because you'll have more transactions. But volume per unit should stay about the same for a while. I think the growth is going to slow down as far as prices. So there are still plenty of buyers for every listing. Instead of 30 offers now, you guys are getting 3 or 5 or whatever it is. I've had some of you guys reach out to me because you can't believe that you only got a few calls on this listing or that listing or whatever, and you know, what should I do to help this listing out? And it is it's just like that now. It is some of you guys are overpriced. Your sellers were insisting on a greater, you guys wanted listings so bad because that's all you can do, and your sellers were overvaluing their house because of what their neighbor got. And if that was 6 months ago, then mine's got to be worth twice that now. So I mean, you guys have had a lot of overpriced stuff out there in the market. That's why you see so many price decreases. Almost as many price decreases as there are new listings. 4,300 new listings, 3,700 price decreases. That tells me people, you guys are seeing the correction out there, and people are realizing it when they're not getting showings. Typically, no showings means overpriced. Lots of showings and no offers means it's not showing well. So just keep that in mind, and go from there. What are you guys seeing out there in the market?
I'm just curious, like, are we starting to see, like, are we still like onboarding the same amount of agents, or are we starting to see, because I feel like, you know, I was reading what
Dream on. You guys want to get rid of these bad agents so badly. Dream on. They're not going anywhere for a while. No, I mean, well, first of all, they've still got 2 years left on their license or whatever to start with. But I do think you'll start. Well, no, and transactions aren't down. So that's not. This isn't a recession where the transactions are going to be down and everything's tough, like short sales and stuff like that. No, this isn't happening, and I don't think it's going to happen. I keep seeing that stuff on realtor groups on Facebook and stuff. That thank God we're going to get rid of these people. No, you're not. You're not. But here's the problem. A lot of people have, you're not going to see the foreclosures like there were. Nobody's in trouble in their house if they bought, unless they bought it in the last 6 months. Nobody's in trouble. Nobody's going to be in trouble in their house. Their house is still worth $100 grand more than they paid for it. Mm-hmm. So they're going to sell. They're just not going to be short sales or foreclosures. Mm-hmm. They're going to need to sell if things go badly, if they lose their jobs or whatever. Those few people out there who have jobs lose their jobs or whatever. They're going to need to sell, but they're not upside down. So I don't foresee that being the same issue, and I don't foresee these people. Well, I mean, 93% of us fail anyway. 93% of them join the board and join MLS and don't renew. In the first 18 months, they fail. So, and don't renew it for the next 2 years. They don't renew. Yeah, that's how it is. And then they sit in a referral brokerage or something until their license expires, and then they go away. So or they keep their license, whatever they do. But that's how it works. And so no, we're not seeing a slowdown. I don't, you guys probably know this. I don't take new agents anyway. I can't teach people how to write a contract and do all that stuff for $175 or $350. So I don't do that. We take you guys who know what you're doing and want to cash in and want to use want to put money back towards your business and want to do all that stuff and not pay a broker for nothing. So that's who we take. So I don't really see that. I know lots of people are still getting their license. I still see that. I hear that. I know that lots of people are still getting licenses. And I don't think it's just because of that. I mean, you know, I've had people try to join us because they have one listing they want to do, you know, their mom's selling their house. So that's why they got their license. Mm-hmm. And those people do it and then they go away in 2 years. But this is not that kind of market, I'm afraid, Christina. I think I see that stuff and I laugh because I don't think people are going anywhere. The transactions are still happening. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think that I don't think it was that great of a market before. I think you guys got carried away. It's a great market because it's a seller's market, but it's not a great market.
No, I agree with you.
Not a great market to make it. It wasn't a great market to make it as a realtor, you know?
I agree with you.
And most of the people who come in and get started are buyer's agents. How easy has it been for buyer's agents for the last 2 years? Not very. It's been tough, miserable, you might say. And those people, I think, are driven away and they will drop off, but there hasn't been that many of them, and they haven't really been bothering you guys too much because they haven't done anything. They put in 30 offers, probably poorly written offers, and never got a deal. But that's, I mean, or maybe they had somebody that had so much money they did get a deal and it drove you crazy, and maybe they will go away. But I don't think this has been a great market to attract a bunch of schmoes out there who don't know what they're doing and not going to stay in the business. I think it's been a terrible market for them. So I think it's actually better now. So I think you guys are going to be sorely disappointed when these people don't go away. So how's that to cheer you up this morning?
Yeah, I just closed a deal with somebody who had no idea what her NRDS number was or what it was. Didn't it? You know, your MLS number, just no clue. But yeah, I'm seeing what you're saying. You know, just put my listing in Deltona under contract. We received 5 offers instead of, you know, like 30, you know, under 300,000, decent price point. So still good, but I think it's a good opportunity for myself. You know, presently I'm trying to reach out to my past buyers and sellers, or you know, let them know what their value is. And then, yeah, I mean, for the first time in my career, there's actually was some folks that I couldn't get into houses this past year. Just, you know, in College Park, you know, 40 houses, no contingencies, all cash, just absolute insanity, you know, $60,000, $70,000 over the already inflated asking price, to the point where I can't even, you know, recommend to my buyers. I'm like, all right, you know. So now I think it's going to be good. Those folks that were, you know, choosing to not participate in that sort of craziness, right now they're going to have more opportunities, I think. So
sure,
I agree.
Sure, and I think that's why you're seeing a lot of these 3,700 decreases in price decreases. That's crazy. 4,300 new listings, 3,700 price decreases, almost exact amount price decreases. I mean, that's crazy. How often have you guys decreased the price in the last 2 years of anything? Right? Not very. All right. Any other questions or comments? All right, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Thank you all for coming, and hopefully set your goals, everybody, and do them. Thank you. Bye.